All right. Hello and welcome for anybody joining to watch. I'm Alexi. I will be the GM, and the game we are playing here is Cyber plus Punk Kamigawa Reckoning. So, Cyber plus Punk, written as CBR plus PNK, is a forged in the dark game of cyberpunk runners on their last job. It's created by Emmanuel Mello and published by the Cabinet of Curiosities. You can find the initial version of this game, which is kind of two slickly designed pamphlets for GM and for players on itch.io. And there is currently a Kickstarter ongoing for a revised and expanded Cyber plus Punk. So check out the itch.io page, check out the Kickstarter if you're interested in this forged in the dark game of cyberpunk action. We are playing this game through the Gauntlet gaming community. The Gauntlet gaming community has so many fun games happening each and every month. It is a wonderful place to check out if you're interested in indie role-playing games. Learn more about the Gauntlet at gauntlet-rpg.com or by following the Gauntlet on Twitter at Gauntlet RPG. And today's session is part of the Gauntlet Community Open Gaming. So this is a weekend that we run a couple times a year where we invite folks to come and play with us on the Gauntlet. We've got lots of cool one-shots that happen, and it is a totally free online gaming event. So definitely keep your ears out for the next Gauntlet Community Open Gaming if you're somebody who's interested in the Gauntlet and wants to play with us. Our session is set in the world of Kamigawa. This is one of the settings from the Multiverse of Magic the Gathering, that august trading card game. Kamigawa is a setting that's based on Japanese mythology and now on cyberpunk media. So in the latest Magic set, as of this recording, Magic put out a set that plays with the tropes of cyberpunk, with neon cities of rainslick gangsters and ninjas, and all of this is layered on top of their Japanese mythology world with its kami and samurai and all that jazz. So we are going to be taking this game of Cyber plus Punk and using it to tell a story in the setting of Magic's Kamigawa world, and especially Kamigawa Neon Dynasty, which is the name of that latest set that brings Kamigawa into the exciting cyberpunk future. So with some of that established as groundwork, let's meet the players who've assembled for this fun one-shot. I'd love for folks to introduce themselves with name, pronouns if you wish, online handle if you so desire, and any other little thing that folks should know. I can start us off. My name is Alexi, he, him. You can follow all of my gaming endeavors online by checking out Cloven Pine Games. And I'm excited to be running a Forged in the Dark system for the first time. Here's hoping it all goes well, but I've loved playing this system before, so I'm excited to be now taking a spin on the GM side of things. Let me see. I'll go down the character keeper. So Lowell, would you mind introducing yourself next?
So my name is Lowell, pronouns he, him. I'm the Gauntlet community manager, and I'm excited. I like Kamigawa. I was nervous about it, but then I found out that they had gotten a cultural consultant from the RPG side that a lot of us know, James Mendez Hodes, and very excited about that. And it's a really lovely set. I'm playing in Izumi, which are the rat people in this. I call him. He and his pronouns he, him is 7 sharp as Sojo, and kind of a talker and a bike gang member with some skills there. So I'm very excited to try this out.
Nice. Excellent. Yeah. And let's meet our next player. Marie, will you tell us about yourself and maybe the basics of your character?
My name is Mari. My pronouns are she, her. I'm relatively new to the Gauntlet. My character's name and their handle is Shobu. They're a street samurai with a penchant for getting up close and personal. And yeah.
Fantastic. Great to have you playing. Next up, Jeremy, please tell us about yourself and a little about your character.
Hi, I'm Jeremy. My pronouns are he, him. I am really excited to play in this game. I am playing an insect ninja by the handle Kobayashi, which is definitely not my real name. Because you probably couldn't speak it with a human tongue. It just sounds like clicks and buzzing.
Mm-hmm.
But I am a ninja with a heart of gold, and maybe I'll be the cool head today, or maybe I'll fall off a skyscraper. We'll see.
Yeah, absolutely. I love this because the kind of insect folk are very kind of briefly represented in the set, and thus there's a lot of kind of mystery about where exactly these insect ninjas come from. So perhaps we'll learn about that in the session, or perhaps Kobayashi will remain a somewhat mysterious being as part of this group. Alan, last but not least, tell us a little about who you are and who your character is.
My name is Alan. My pronouns are he, him. I've been with the Gauntlet for about 3 and a bit years. You can see my work if you go to Gallus Games, my itch page. And I don't know Magic the Gathering, so I am keen to learn. But I do know my cyberpunk, I suppose. And I am playing Thorn. He, him, also he, him. Thorn believes that the truth needs to be set free, and he has a custom cyberspace deck to do that with. And I see him as a black-clad, hoodie-wearing, mask-wearing anarchist, really.
Nice.
Because you have to be.
No love for the Imperials, it sounds like.
No.
All right. And I love in the you know what? I should do this. I should share my screen so that someone watching along can get a sense of the character art that people have picked out. So yeah, so there's 7 Sharp Isojo with that amazing biker jacket he's got going on. There's Shobu. Shobu, in this image, there's a little sort of like drone perched on your shoulder. Is that, do you think, part of your character's gear here?
Yeah, I think they have a little mechanical cat drone.
Nice. That's awesome. Love to see it. And Kobayashi, we've got this amazing art. And there's Thorn, yes, with the hood and with this mask that looks kind of like a Oni mouth design. Is that kind of part of his signature look? Fantastic. Then the other question I have, I suppose, is about the cyberware that each of you have picked up. I think I'll go back up this character keeper and just hear a little about your cyberware. So Thorn, you've got a neural link. Tell me a little about what that does.
Yeah, it just allows me to connect. It's as simple as that. It is the simplest way to connect to anything, really. All you need is a cable with a plug at either end, and you're home free.
Nice. So it's a like jacking into stuff and then getting a sort of like technopathic mind to machine connection. Yeah. Beautiful.
Mind to data.
Mind
Machines.
to data.
Oh, they're so meat space.
Yes, mind right to the data. Absolutely. Kobayashi, tell me about your sticky nanotech augment.
So, the sacred scrolls of our tribe tell of days when our ancestors did not need such crude augmentation to stick to ceilings and infiltrate anywhere. So I can do Spider-Man stuff because of the nanotech, and I think that'll be a lot of fun.
Yeah, absolutely. Shobu, I'm scrolling up to you. You have spring legs as cyberware. Seems sort of straightforward. What's the like?
Yeah, I figure they are primarily used for jumping and closing to get close enough to stab people with their dagger or sword, depending on what they have. And I figure they got these sometime after they left whatever reputable thing they have, and that now has driven them for their desire to make them pay for whatever wronged them in the past.
Oh, interesting. Okay, yeah. So there's a real like there's a chip on their shoulder and a spring in their step. Beautiful. And Lowell, you've got a deep brain cycle link. Tell me just a little about that.
I have one of those sort of implanted, hidden away, supposedly undetectable mental connections to my my morphing bike, which I can call and pilot remotely. It's like the bike from Hobbs and Shaw that Idris Elba was using, which is the actual hero of that movie. So that's how I'm imagining it.
Fun stuff. I love that. So we have our runners. What is our run going to be? Here's what I put in the description for this event. This is your last shot. You're experienced runners with the Hyozan Reckoner gang, and that's one of the like major criminal outfits here in this big tech, high-tech cyberpunk city. But somehow you got on Satoru Umezawa's bad side, and he's given you the most dangerous assignment imaginable: steal a priceless relic of Kamigawa's history from an Imperial facility deep in Tawashi. If you screw it up, you're as good as dead. So sharpen your weapons, boot up your tech, and channel your kami magic. You'll need every tool in your arsenal to steal Umezawa's jitte. So let me expand on that a tiny bit. Satoru Umezawa, he is the very scary, very intense leader of the Hyozan Reckoners. You can see a picture of him in the NPCs tab where he's got these, big, like crushing cyber hands, but he's also surrounded by a sort of nimbus of kami magic that's focused on his tattoos. So he's got tech and he's got magic. He's collecting all the resources he can to be at the top of the heap, amongst the underworld of the city of Tawashi. And he's taken the name of a famous roguish hero from the past of Kamigawa. Umezawa was one of the great heroes of the Kami War thousands of years ago. Is Satoru actually descended from Toshiro Umezawa? Does he have any real claim to this name? Who knows? But no one's challenged him about it. He says it's his name. He's kind of maintained that in the face of anyone who's at all skeptical, and possibly someone who spoke out a little bit against it, was found in several places around the city. Yeah. So the mission is in some ways a personal one, since he's tasked you with recovering this weapon, this little dagger, the jitte that his claimed ancestor wielded all those thousands of years ago. And the dagger is currently housed in the Imperial Museum Annex, which is a goodwill project here in Tawashi. The Imperials have tried to set this up as like a nice place where people can experience aspects of the history of Kamigawa under the benevolent eyes of Imperial curators and guards. The rumor is they recently have acquired this, very historic artifact, but do not know exactly what they've got. They know they found an old weapon, but they don't know it's Umezawa's jitte. And Satoru and possibly others are interested in liberating it from Imperial possession before the Imperials understand exactly what it is they've got. Any questions about that, bit of background there, about the kind of artifact that is the target for your run?
What would the ramifications of discovering and publishing that it was or wasn't the original Umegawa's jitte?
Yeah. So, you know, Umezawa was a man who, used martial prowess and trickery and a little bit of kami magic to achieve his goals. He was a Ronin who ended up saving the world anyway, and there's no telling kind of what traces of magic might be left in this weapon. It's not something that it's not something where like everyone knows like, oh yes, the jitte that definitely had this ability and that ability, but it's more just because of its connection with Umezawa, there's every possibility it has interesting properties.
Well, I'm inclined at some point that we should discuss to whose advantage it would be to create some history around this.
Yeah, that is fair. Here's my big question for you before we kind of launch in and start seeing the characters in action. Given the nature of the target and the and like what you know about where it's being held, is this something where you think your runners are turning up after hours to do a break-in, or something where you think your runners are turning up while the museum's in operation to kind of mingle with the crowd and then sneak their way into restricted areas?
I think I'd like to pass that to the face man, actually. So you make that decision for us.
Let me say this, and I mean this in the most charitable way, if I may. I'm not entirely sure that any of you seem like museum patrons. Even passing as people who work there is a problem. I suggest that we look at after hours. We figure out who is around. There are going to be people, delivering things at night, people working restorations, those kinds of things. I think we look that way as a means of getting in, rather than putting on a fake mustache or whatnot.
This isn't going to involve sewers, is it, Ratty?
This all depends on how the situation rolls out. But, however, I will say the strengths of Kobayashi and Shobu are more, let us say, aerial and reaching to the heights. So it would be a disadvantage for us to go through the sewers.
Yeah, I hate sewers.
I know. That's how you offended the turtle ninja that's in our group.
Yeah. People thought the kappas were extinct, and then they turned up again. All right. So 7 sharp isojo. It sounds like you're suggesting some kind of after hours infiltration. Tell me a little bit more about what you're picturing for that, and then perhaps we'll try and hit the ground running. Make a roll to see how that starts off. And as per usual with Forged in the Dark games, you have the chance to do flashbacks if you want to establish later that you've done more setup work or research ahead of time, right? Like we're going to try to hit the ground running and then use flashbacks to backfill any bonus planning that it turns out the characters had done, and it was all part of the plan. Yeah.
I suggest that Thorn and I will have been doing the legwork, the getting of plans, the finding out where the door keys are, the talking to people, such that we can set up so that Kobayashi and Shobu can take point, and Thorn and I can follow up behind, not splitting our party, but playing to our strengths.
Makes a lot of sense. There's an attractive question on the bottom of my sheet that says, "What's the best way in?"
Yeah. That's from the kind of gather information suggestions. Let's make a roll to cover this. Basically opening a way in. Right. So this is going to be whatever it is that Thorn and Seven Sharp Sojo are doing to get a to get an opening here, right, into the Imperial Museum Annex after hours. Thorn, what do you picture that might look like? And then we'll turn that into dice in a moment.
Oh, well, I need to get hold. I need to be able to just control the security system.
I see.
You know, open doors, turn off cameras, loop cameras, you know, stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's something you think you might be able to pull off if you're, kind of plugged into it somehow from the like exterior of the annex, or you have to be inside already to do it, or you're hoping to kind of take it over from outside and then head in with your companions.
I certainly intend to do that. I mean, what do you mean? Can I do it? Just unpack that one for me.
It sounds like the question is it easier one way or the other? Or is it the same?
It's vaguely easier if I could plug in inside the building, I think, than having to use to crack the Wi-Fi kind of thing and get in from out here. But certainly, Thorn will not admit that.
Perhaps you allow an exercise of soft power and allow me to perhaps provide that wedge issue to gain you access.
Do your thing, face man.
Fair enough. So what I'm doing is I spend the day talking to people, finding out where security goes, and finding out that that moment when the door is exposed somewhere, such that we can slip in and put Thorn to work getting the security,
Nice.
and setting up Kobayashi and Shobu for success.
Nice. So I think we're gonna have this be a roll that Thorn makes, but plausibly it's one that Seven Sharp Sojo is assisting with. Does that sound legit as an interpretation of what we've described, and going into some dice here?
So I can mark stress to give him an extra die, if I recall.
I believe that is the case. I'm just double checking that.
Okay.
That holds in this system. But what does it say? Oh, you know what? Under game rules, I think this has its special action: assist, mark stress, and expose yourself to the consequences to give an extra dice to a teammate's action roll. Only one PC may assist on a given roll. Perfect. Yeah. So I think
I'll mark a stress.
That makes sense to me. Yeah, a stress for Isojo, because you have tried to like tailgate in after a janitor who's entering the building after hours,
tailgate, but maybe not that phrase. A little pun there for me. But I definitely have slipped in, talked to some people, and essentially getting that access, helping out that way. So I have marked my stress to give you an extra die, Thorn.
Yeah, I'm imagining that Seven is kind of talking to people and just occupying their attention, so I can just make that connection. So you'll need to talk me through this, because
let's do it.
Forge in the dark. Bang. So I get to roll one die because I always do. I get to roll another die because Seven is helping.
No, let's start at the beginning here. So we know what you want to accomplish. It's take over the security system.
Yeah.
What approach are you using?
This is without doubt an intellectual challenge.
All right.
They all are, really, in the end. So that gives me 2 dice.
Yes.
For
what
smartness.
skill are you What skill do you have?
I'm going to power up the Erebushi custom deck and use all 3 hacking dice.
Okay. So you're at 5 already here.
That appears to be the case. Yeah.
Yeah. And you have you have that expertise, so you could trade so like once you've got total dice here, you could choose to trade a dice in order to lower the threat or increase the effect. Yeah.
Explain to me how the assist dice from 7 is going to play into this.
That just adds to your total. So I think that like means you're planning on rolling 6 dice at the moment.
Okay. So I could trade down to 5 for increased effect.
Yeah, or decreased threat. I'll tell you.
No, decreased threat. No, increased effect.
Sure. So I'll tell you. I think
mean,
threat.
If lights start flashing, then Grasshopper here will leap in through some kind of ceiling access, and
Nice.
Shobu will protect me.
Yeah, there we go. All right, so I'll tell you.
Are we even on hand for this though?
I think you're on deck, right? Like you're waiting for Thorn to to like open up a door for you, basically, right? Am I following the plan here?
Thorn's talking to himself a lot. He should be ready soon, Kobayashi.
Yeah. on deck / watching to see if this fails before we get started.
Nice. All right. So yes. So I'll tell. So yeah. There's no edge here yet. This is you are hitting a facility that's kind of medium hard because it's Imperial, but it's not specifically armed against you or anything. So I'm going to say the threat is normal and the effect is normal at baseline. So that's numerically they're both at 2, which would kind of represent what like gets ticked on a clock or anything if this succeeds or if this fails. So do you want do you want to increase that effect by spending one of your dice?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So I'll go from 6 to 5 dice.
Yeah.
And as a GM I admire often says, 5 dice. What could go wrong?
What could go wrong? You can also push yourself if you're like, I want to spend some stress to get an additional bonus on this. So the push action is mark 2 stress to either add a dice to your roll or increase your effect. So that is an option, but you can also keep your stress in reserve, since stress is something you also use to resist consequences, when and if those come up.
And fictionally,
yeah,
is stress how I activate my cyberware?
Yes, if you want like the cyberware bonus, there's a stress cost to it. Let's see. Let me remind myself what that is. That's not listed in the special actions here, so let me check this thing. Okay, yeah. So it's kind of, I guess it's just a category of push. So you can push yourself by marking 2 stress, and you get a bonus dice. And if you're specifically using cyberware, you get the like bonus dice thing and a like fictional bonus of sure. We've got a little cameo here. Hi, Beatrice. Bye. If I'm reading this right, you can always push yourself with 2 stress, and if you're specifically kind of pushing on your cyberware, you get the regular push bonus and a like special cyberware bonus, which we could interpret as say again,
like a fictional permission.
Yeah, and if it feels like that should result in something like increased effect, then we can figure out if that makes sense as a mechanical interpretation of it.
Okay, I will spend 2 stress, plug in the neural link, mark a cyber deck on my gear, and roll 5 dice.
Yeah, roll 5 dice. Nice.
Damn it! Those
Oh.
6s just disappeared, and then there's only 1 left.
Oh no! Oh no! Well, hang on. Where are you in the roll for your party here?
I thought so. I'm seeing 6, 2, 3, 3, 4.
Yeah, it's a problem with Roll for Your Party is there's that hiccup before it actually displays the final results.
Yeah.
But they've got that 6.
Yes, exactly. I just was waiting for 2 because there were 2 there just for a fraction of a moment.
That'll break your heart. Okay, so the 6 is good, right? Like you've got a 6 means get what you want, and what you want is to control the NX security systems. I set up a 4-tick progress bar for that, and because your effect got all the way up to 4, thanks to all the stuff you poured into this, you're just going to fill that progress bar up. So Thorn, you get the hacking moment. Yeah, we're gonna take a break in just a moment. But Thorn, tell me a little about what it looks like when the security falls. The security comes under your control, and you can usher in your fellow operatives here.
I think if we go with genre, then I think that when I plug in, I'm inside a very old school Imperial scriptorium. And it is guarded by heavy metal samurai in the net, in the Matrix. And they come on guard, their eyes glint, and then they go very still and bow gently towards me.
Beautiful. Yeah. So then a window high up on this annex kind of slides open, alarms disabled, laser lines flickering out. There is a open invitation for the rest of the runners here, and we'll take our first break now and pick back up with our mission in progress. So let's take 10, be back at 20 past the hour. All right. Looks like we're all back. Are we all set to drop back in? Feeling good about checking into this mission? Something I didn't establish, but that CBR+PNK says is that there's a fixer, connected with your group of operatives, the go-between, right? In this case, between you and Satoru Umezawa, an anonymous figure with a flat voice known as Operator. So I think Shobu and Kobayashi, as you kind of spot the opening that Thorn has made for you, you also get a hail over the communicator. It's Operator's voice coming through saying, "Runners status update, please."
I believe Thorn
Sorry.
has breached security, and it is time for our more athletically inclined members of the team to make their way in from above.
All right. See that there are no mistakes. Satoru Umezawa says everything's riding on this.
Roger that.
Kobayashi, what do you do?
I see my point of infiltration, which I imagine is on the roof.
Yeah, that sounds right.
I'm going to try to get as close to where we believe the jitte is, and come down through a skylight from above, if possible.
Totally. And you've got your sticky nanotech augment. If you want to be Spider-Manning along the ceiling here.
That sounds good. Let me look at the runner sheet, because I don't recall how much stress I have. Let's see. So yeah, let's just go ahead and use it because that's what we're here for.
Yeah.
So I'll push and activate the cyberware, and I am trying to be careful and mobile. And I wrote an edge there that says "silent roof running."
That seems about in line with what we've got going on. Yeah. Now, obviously the hope is not only to be inside the annex, but to be approaching the target. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Does Thorn? Do you want to do some assistance here? Maybe you're like picking up some clues from the system you're now jacked into to point Kobayashi in the right direction.
That'll cost me stress, won't it?
Yes, it will.
I think I've given him the entry he asked for, actually. I think I'll just pop outside, take a smoke.
That's fair. So Kobayashi, you're kind of following intuition or just doing some investigation to move silently over the roofs and ceilings of this place in search of a likely location of the target. Is that about right?
I think that sounds right.
All right. So let's pull some dice together. I think this warrants it.
Can I just over comms say to Seven? Didn't you do some legwork on where this thing was? I didn't think we'd have to find the bloody thing.
Let the others handle the task as they will. Information has been passed. We are here to support them.
I hate it when you get all philosophical.
Oh, you haven't heard philosophical.
Kami, protect us.
Yeah. Kobayashi, your approach is caution, yeah, and your skill is is mobility with the silent roof running expertise in the mix. So I believe that puts you to 5 dice.
Mhm. And I'm pushing.
Nice. So pushing gives you the bonus dice and gives you, in this case, the fictional positioning of moving along the ceiling. Cool. So yeah, we definitely, like, even before the roll, you can describe kind of some of what that looks like. What is what would we see of, like, the establishing shots of how Kobayashi is
Sure.
interacting with this
So,
facility in an unexpected way.
Yeah, so we established that it's nighttime. The camera pans up to a street light that lens flares as my acrobatically flipping body lands onto the roof, and I'm like on all fours, like, yeah. That's all I got.
That's great. Yeah. So I think you have the edge since your buddy has taken over the security system here. So I'm lowering the threat. It's a low threat down to just 1 numerically. Effect is standard to effect. You may choose, if you wish, to raise or lower both of them simultaneously if you want to improve your impact at the cost of a harder consequence. All right.
Oh yeah.
All right. Effect pushed up to 3, threat pushed back up to 2, and and your what did your dice pool ended up as 6 because of the push. Do you want to trade one of those dice for lowered threat or increased effect, or
no, thank
are you cool to just roll 6 dice on this?
No, I am cool to roll 6 dice.
Nice.
Yeah.
And I had only populated 5 non-glitch dice in the dice roller. Do you want? Are you in the dice roller, or do you have physical dice in front of you?
I'm in the dice roller.
Let me put one more purple dice in so that you can just highlight all the purple dice and re-roll them to make this roll. Does that work for you?
I think so. I haven't used this tool before, so
okay.
I'm gonna highlight.
So basically, you would click on each of the purple dice, and they should all get outlined in red, and then you click re-roll selected to just roll all of those.
There is a little graphic lag on it, which is interesting. Looks like I have a 1-6, which is what I wanted, I think.
That's the key. That's the key thing you need. Yeah. All right. So 6 success. It goes as well as intended. So you are undetected. You are kind of able to, like, explore the ceilings of the facility, right? You kind of like crawl along, and, like, down below there are these vases from that date back to the Kami War, right? And, like, depict the battle between mortals and spirits. There are these ancient weapons with kind of inlaid handles depicting the Shattered States era, the great chaos that once engulfed the realm of Kamigawa. And then finally you kind of reach what seems to be a like kind of back room of the museum annex, a place where, like, new acquisitions are cataloged and and researched. And so down below you there are many drawers filled with things that the annex has received. In one of them has got to be the jitte. You have not been detected, and you've reached a part of the annex that seems very promising. Is that cool to leave Kobayashi there for the moment?
Yeah, I'll get on the comms and, like, I am in position, ready to commence plan phase beta.
Let me check with Shobu. are you kind of entering the facility as well now that there's an opening for you?
Yeah, if there's a clear path, they're gonna enter in, maybe cover our way out in case. Are there guards patrolling? I will ask Thorn over the comms. Do you have any intel on guards patrolling or anything?
Yeah, there are guards patrolling, but I've sent them somewhere else.
And you, in fact,
Thank
control
you.
the security system. So I will buy that, and we'll see if
put
that.
a low-level threat at the other end of the building, so you should have a window to just go get it. Yeah,
That's
time's
beautiful.
wasting.
Great.
That's beautiful. So in fact, there is like a silent alarm going, but because you control the security system, it's a silent alarm that you, Thorn, have triggered, pointing people away from the place where you are. I buy it. I'll give that to you. Shobu, what's your play then?
Then I'm gonna head in after Kobayashi on the ground rather than the ceilings, and hopefully help rifle through the scores of drawers we have.
Nice. So that means you're kind of this is, you don't have to roll for this, but I'll or spend stress, but just for the image, I assume you do like a leap with your cyber legs to like fly through the opening, and exactly.
Yeah, leap down the skylight or down a stairwell and head off along the corridor to the annex.
Cool. Then we'll check back in with you in a moment. 7 Sharp Sojo. You had kind of like slipped in to help kind of create an entry point for Thorn. Are you still just kind of loitering somewhere in this annex, after hours? What do we see?
So I am doing my best to kind of maneuver around, keep an eye out, because I want our 2 intrusion specialists to have the best time possible. I am looking around for signs, signals, indications that another team might be working the site, since we've been told that there are competitors. Just guards that ought to be in a particular place given our calculations that aren't there, or mechanical setups or anything like that. That is what I am looking for. People who are there who shouldn't be there. I'm kind of skulking around in that way.
Yeah. So I think you'll the like easy thing to spot is this Kitsune in Imperial robes, kind of like bustling through the museum, looking like she belongs here, but she seems a tiny bit distraught, and is kind of headed in the direction that of the kind of back room where your companions are looking through things. She's kind of just like muttering to herself just a little bit as she walks along.
Then I think I will approach with the sort of fake security badge I have. Ma'am, is there anything the matter?
Some kind of disturbance on the other end of the facility, and I don't have time to be dealing with these things. There are important pieces of history to catalog. There's always work to be done, and I can't believe they haven't upgraded. I've told them once, I've told them 100 times, they need to be upgrading the teams we have here, because things are just getting more and more dodgy in this neighborhood of Tawashi. I'll have you know.
I understand. Do you need me to escort you?
Yes, please. Just keep an eye out. I will
watch for any miscreants.
Indeed, there's some samples that I need to check on. Right, and she's she's like pretty open to just accepting your help.
I am following behind in case she turns out to be a ninja is going to stab me. I am keeping a couple of paces back, but I'll kind of stick with her for a bit. I think is my plan.
Nice. Are you alerting your allies that someone's headed towards them?
Kobayashi, are you in?
I am nearby, I think.
And Shobu, are you in?
Yes.
Shobu, you're on the ground, right?
Yeah.
So I'm. This is, of course, subvocal. I'm with a person who is headed your way there to quote unquote catalog things. Just be aware.
Okay. I will find somewhere to hide if need be.
That sounds excellent.
Fantastic. Thorn, you start getting kind of like reports back from the security team saying like we've done a full sweep of the area where the alerts were sounded, but we see no evidence of any tampering. Permission to return to regular rounds.
And I think probably they get a little message saying, just stay there, just check, because that perimeter arm doesn't trigger for nothing. Just to buy the team a little bit more time. Though to be honest, that's kind of a peripheral interest to me. I'm much more interested in what some of this, what interesting stuff I can find in the scriptorium.
Just the virtual scriptorium.
The virtual scriptorium, yeah. And I think probably I'm searching Umezawa.
Okay, yeah. Seeing if like they know more stuff about any given Umezawa. Sure. Yeah. Let's make a roll for gathering that information. Seems like, well, you tell me what approach and skill are you employing for this?
Oh, I think I ask one of the monkish, scriptorium
programs.
Calligraphers is the word I was looking for.
Yeah.
Who are always updating the catalog, and so I will interrogate these friendly calligraphers on the question of what do we know about? Because I'm looking for connections that they haven't made. Because the trouble with these scriptorium programs is they're very kind of very focused, and the trick is to look across the data. You don't just look down the data; you look across the data. So I'm thinking smartness.
Yeah.
To be honest, I don't think this is hacking per se.
It's not hacking. This is this is a kind of social thing you're doing within a
yeah. So I think it's probably influence,
which you have no dice in.
No. I mean, people may have noticed that my empathy is not.
Go
high.
ahead and show me how easy it is.
Yeah, but it's just talking to people. Jesus.
Nice. So that puts us at 2 dice here. I don't think either side has the edge at this moment because you've taken over the security system, but you are now just trying to like gain additional information from this virtual repository here. So I'd say the threat is a normal level of 2, and the effect is a normal level 2. So you could raise them simultaneously to improve your impact at the cost of a harder consequence, or vice versa. There's also always trying to push or asking someone to assist. So any adjustments you want to make to here?
I noticed the stress track goes 3, then 3 gray, then overload. I know what overload does. What's the difference between the first 3 and the second 3?
I think it's just visual, but I can double check that I'm not missing some feature of the system there. No, I think there's no thing that happens happens kind of at 4 stress. I think it's the key is just overloading has an important effect if you get to that point.
Then the nice thing about the Erebushi deck is it does allow me to create a persona inside
Hmm.
systems, which I'm using that to create the persona of a senior script, a senior calligrapher.
Yeah.
I will mark another 2 stress and get a 3rd dice.
That's correct. Yeah, you're using your cyberware to do that, and are you leaving threat and effect as they are, or doing any adjustment there where you could?
Not even Thorn is so arrogant to believe he can get away with 2 dice, so he's going to roll the 3 dice.
All right, roll. No, you can you don't have you can you don't have to trade a dice for it if what you're doing is raising both, lowering both. The trade-off is just the fact that they've both been raised or they've both been lowered.
Okay, yeah, no, let's raise both threat and effect then.
All right, so you'll be more effective if you succeed, but there's more potential consequence if you are taking a consequence here.
Yeah.
All right, go ahead and make the roll for me then.
That is a 5, 3, and a 6. The guy is on fire.
On fire. Yeah, absolutely. A success. It goes as well as intended. Yeah. So the program completely buys it. Like you have seamlessly slotted into the persona of a senior calligrapher. Give me just a sense of how Thorn's portrayal is very convincing here.
It's just the commanding nature. And so we begin to see the calligraphers stopping updating the catalog, and they begin to kind of move across and go to other people's stations and pick up brushes there. So we're getting more cross-referencing.
Yeah. So you get you get eventually this beautifully calligraphied scroll explaining kind of it's synthesizing everything that the scriptorium had on file about Umezawa. There's a lot of interesting historical research into kind of what is true and what is false in the legends of Toshiro Umezawa. There's a whole section of notes from an Imperial investigator who had specifically been tasked with trying to discover whether Satoru's claim to be descended from Toshiro Umezawa was true, and the investigator concludes that it is a ruse, but they're kind of their analysis is that it's not just about street cred, right? Their analysis is that Satoru has claimed this in order to try and tap into some of the old magic that Toshiro Umezawa was connected to, specifically Toshiro's connection to an ancient ogre named Hidetsugu, an ogre who the legends say ascended to become an oni. Went from being a mortal ogre to a kami demon, the all-consuming oni of chaos. So there's a little there's a little interesting tidbit from what the Imperials have been gathering. Does that work for you as something you'd uncover here?
That certainly does, and I think just to spend the special effects budget, as we're looking at this beautifully calligraphied scroll, as we go in, we begin to see, it's made up of sequences of ones and zeros. We go through that, and there's an illustration of this demon of chaos.
Oh, there sure is. In fact, I will just share my screen for a moment so we get that image.
Well, 7. Are you at all concerned about giving this jitte to our employer? I'm just going to send you some information, okay?
Just dropping pictures of Oni into the group chat.
This is perhaps not the time.
Well, if if we give him any control over what I just sent you,
I think
let
we
us.
need to get the dagger and get out.
okay, but don't say I didn't warn you, okay?
Nice. So kind of as this is going on, the Goldtail. I'm just gonna. It's more convenient to give these NPCs names. Goldtail, the Kitsune, Imperial researcher, has like cast like an impatient look back over at you, Seven Sharp as Soju. You're still watching my back, yes?
Yes, security's just checking in with me.
All right. And she swipes her credentials at this door that opens up. And I want to ask Shobu, what do you do as you hear them approach? Because you are in this room as someone who is actually authorized to be here is arriving.
Is there a closet, large crate, something I can hide behind so she won't see me the moment she comes in the door?
There certainly are possibilities. Let's see if a roll might make sense here. Because there's any number of different desks and drawers that contain these artifacts. So you could find one that's kind of big and solid enough for you to lurk behind. Yeah.
Yeah, or if there's a crate with a new arrival that hasn't been unpacked yet,
just
that I can hide behind.
Yeah, absolutely. What's your what approach and skill do you think you might be using for this?
So this sounds like caution, which they're not very good at.
That's true. You have 0 caution.
And observation, because I'm trying to find one. Looking around the room, seeing what there is.
Okay. All right. So that's one dice total.
Yeah, not great.
I'll say you have an edge because you got advanced warning from you got some advanced warning from 7. So
yeah. Am I in any position that I could assist somehow? Because I feel like
you are overhead, presumably.
Yeah,
I am
pointing pointing something out to Shobu from your overhead vantage point that gives them the way to hide more quickly than they would otherwise.
Yeah, so my instinct, I haven't filled out all my gear. But so you can tell me what you prefer vis-a-vis that. But I want to just throw a ninja smoke bomb.
Oh my goodness! just
like
create
at the lady's feet.
Not very subtle.
Yeah. At the risk of wait, he's covering his face. This is a great idea.
I mean, so obviously, if this were to pay off, maybe she would assume that just something here has been improperly contained and released.
Maybe all right. If it's not a stretch, what if one of my oh god, so
could you just point out a good concealing place for Shobu?
How about that? Let's do that.
just assist in that way. I imagine that you've been very quickly going through the plans. Okay, so a smoke bomb, or I could do that. Just help Shobu.
I'm supposed to be cautious, so we will whatever we said. Subverbal, is that what we said earlier?
Subvocal.
Subvocal. Okay. Neat. I will try to guide her to a good hiding place.
Yeah, all right. So you're trying to guide Shobu so they can hide somewhere. That works for me.
I'll mark
you
stress.
Are up to mark a stress for that. So that's one more dice, Shobu.
All right. So I have 2 dice.
So threat is no, you have the edge, so the threat is just normal. And yeah, threat and effect are both normal. Do you want to increase them both, decrease them both, try to mess around with those dials?
I'll increase them both.
All right. So threat is higher and effect is higher. Yeah, so potentially you could be like really concealed, or things could really start to hit the fan here. Well, how many dice did you end up with? Just 2?
Just 2.
Okay. Do you want to push yourself, or you're cool with rolling 2 here?
I'll roll 2. We'll see what happens.
See what happens.
Oh, 6 and 3.
Nice.
Why are your dice so good?
Because of all the other PBTA games we've played.
Because the net is on our side.
None of you have even had to resist any consequences yet.
Yeah, I mean, Thorn doesn't want to take too much credit for the way that the dice roller is working, but
yeah, Alan, you hacked into the dice roller. Yeah, so like with that assist from Kobayashi, Shobu, you are like perfectly positioned behind this crate of new arrivals that have not been cataloged, and so Goldtail sweeps in there without like suspecting a thing. Like immediately walks over to one of these cabinets and like opens it up, pulls out on a nice little velvet museum display thing, a ancient jitte that she like sets down and begins pulling out a series of like magnifying lenses to like take a close look on it, and she's taking notes on a small like data pad device in her hand.
I would like to at that point do something, if I may.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, what are you thinking?
I'm going to mark exotic weapon for here. And I think essentially it's the little knockout poison that I just kind of lightly prick the back of her Katsuni neck. I think I've made it. This has been my waiting, planning, doing this, and now since I've got her attention, she thinks that I'm a fine friend. I'm going to knock her unconscious.
Let's figure out what that roll is to sneakily apply knockout poison. What's your approach? What approaches and skills are you employing?
I think that I am leaning on my empathy on like we've been walking along just companionably here. Nothing has gone wrong. I would like to lean on that, and I think close combat. It's only one dot, but I think I have to lean on that. It
feels like a form of close combat to prick someone with a knockout thing. Yeah. Empathy, close combat brings you to 3 dice. Yes. I think the effect here is high, since this is the chance to have have the only kind of official representative in the room suddenly be no longer a factor. The threat is high as well, because if this goes poorly, this like really shows your hand as not on her side. Does that sound right to you?
That does.
Do you want to raise or lower threat or effect, or push yourself for another dice?
We will leave that where it is, but I am going to push myself for the extra die.
Okay.
I'll mark
pushing it up
stress.
To 4, I believe.
That is 4, yes.
All right. Go ahead and roll 4 dice for me.
Okay, pull 4 dice down a little bit. I'm going to mark them all. Now is where it all goes terribly wrong. No.
What have we got?
6, 3, 3, 4, unless it changes on me. No, it looks like I have a 6.
I'm just gonna reload the room, make sure.
I hate to say that.
5, 3, 4.
Oh, this stupid roller. I literally hate this roller so much.
I'm sorry about that.
No, you're right. It is now. It's 5. This roller.
So
damn you, Thorn.
That's okay. That's okay.
It's a partial.
Yeah, a 5 is a partial success. They do it, but also suffer a consequence: harm, reduced effect, lost opportunity, or complication. So you do it, right? Like she like is pricked by this needle. She like kind of like turns, eyes wide, and then like starts, and then like slumps over. But in that like moment, between the like prick and the total loss of consciousness, she activates a button on her wrist. Are you going to resist
that consequence?
All right. I like how you don't even know what the button does, but
I
you're
know.
ready
I
to
don't
resist it.
care.
All right. So now we finally get to have a resistance roll. So what approach are you using to try to resist it?
Oh, I think this is empathy. I think I'm like I'm there as if, oh no, I'll catch you. Everything's fine.
You're
I
clearly
see.
having a stroke.
I see.
Yes.
You're kind of in the moment, still trying to play up the idea that you're on her side, you're here to help, and
Absolutely.
like under that guise, trying to block her from pressing the button.
Yes. So with this system, do I roll then 2 dice to resist?
Yep, you roll just the approach to
Okay.
resist.
So I'm going to roll those top 2 dice. What do those dice say?
I'm seeing a 2 and a 4.
Oh, good, because at first it was a 2 and a 1 for me. So I'll have to mark 2 stress, right?
That's correct, but you resist the consequence.
Help me.
How are you doing on stress?
You can move on to somebody else. They should be doing some actions. Yeah.
Okay, so the curator is out cold, right? Slumped across one of these desks, and the jitte is just sitting there,
Shobu,
just waiting.
Jit's here, curator's down.
Okay.
Understand.
Go ahead. Shobu.
Shobu will come out of her hiding spot then.
Popping up from behind this crate.
Yep.
Is it your job to take the target, right? Like are you the one carrying this extremely sought after jitte out of here?
Did we figure that out at all?
No,
I'm just asking you now in the moment whether
Sure,
that's what
Sure.
happened.
Oh.
Or do you have a different thought, Kobayashi?
I'll trade with you. Or wait, hold on a second. Yeah, that sounds fine. Let's go with that plan. Yeah.
Sure.
Because I was going to say I was going to work on hiding the body.
Yeah, just in case in case anybody else comes through here. Yeah. Okay, so yeah, Shobu, you pick up the jitte. I don't know how familiar you are with kami magic, Shobu, but like there's just a like sense of something, kind of beyond the physical, vibrating and blazing. It's not that it burns your hand, but it feels like it should burn your hand somehow. But I'm sure it's fine.
I'm sure. Is it in a sheath currently?
No, it's
Okay.
it's just the seal.
Sitting
Like
there.
very old, very plain dagger, right? But there's something very distinctive about it as you pick it up. The feel of it is kind of the giveaway that there's something unusual in this artifact. Kobayashi, what's your approach to hiding the body?
I'm not sure. I'm going to, I think carefully. The best thing I can think of is endurance, actually. So I'm doing something kind of physical. I'm going to drag the body over to the conveniently already established good hiding spot
Yes, yeah.
behind the crate and put it there carefully.
Nice.
That's
And
3.
so that's caution and endurance, did you say?
Yeah.
Nice. Normal threat and effect here. Tell me if you want to mess with those, push yourself, do anything else to
So
change things here.
if I want to lower threat, do I have to sacrifice die?
No,
or-
you can choose to lower both threat and effect. So
okay.
that would basically push them both
I
down to lower.
just
So
want normal, I think.
yeah,
For
okay.
both. So we'll just leave it the way it is.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna use our
amazing
dice roller, huh?
Yeah, I'm sorry about dice roller. I'm gonna make a progress bar, which is Goldtail's body discovered. So this is a enemy progress bar, and that would be things that would be something that gets checked off if this roll goes badly. It means things are moving towards a discovery there. Does that make sense? Is that a kind of way of figuring out some of what these stakes are? Cool.
Mm-hmm. I have clicked to reroll selected after selecting 3 of them. And I see 6, 3, 4.
And
what do you see?
I see. I mean, is it the 3 that are kind of hanging out
on the right hand for me?
On the right hand side, I see 6, 3, 5. So either way, there's a 6 in there.
Okay.
So that is a nice success, right? Like it goes as well as intended. You've got the body hidden away. No ticks on the bad progress bar.
Curator is down but out of sight for now.
And we're approaching another break, but Thorn, I want to give you something else because you've been doing some research. You're also the one like calling the shots on the security. You start getting a bunch of buzzes from security systems. Something that the systems categorize as a threat seems to be moving in quickly. It's basically like there's like cameras all around the museum, and like as this threat moves in, like you get like buzz, alarms going off, approaching the museum, and like if you pull the feed from those cameras up, what you see is a bunch of goblins, which are called Aki on this world, armed with a variety of weapons, many of them much larger than the goblins themselves, but they are kind of making a totally unsubtle, completely like obvious charge down the streets of Tawashi towards this museum, and like letting out battle cries as they go.
Okay, we have company. Let me just find the rear exit.
Yes, indeed. Let's take another quick break here. So 10 minutes and be back at 15 past the hour to pick up and see how this adventure unfolds from there.
Yeah, I'm usually more cautious with my stress. This is the first time that I've gone this high stress this early in a Force in the Dark game.
Yeah, I guess we'll just need to find a moment to take a breather. So I'm sure that'll be easy with the goblins charging in and everything.
No problem.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I was noting in the chat that people have really taken different amounts of stress, but maybe the current situation will be a chance for Shobu and Kobayashi to pick up some of that stress going around. Are folks ready to dive back in? All right. So Thorn, you get these notices, right? This goblin gang, small goblin army rolling in. You also get a ping from the operator who says, "Runners status update."
Everything's fine.
Glad to hear that. There are problematic Aki activities happening all over Tawashi.
Can I just say we're busy?
I have important information to relay. The old drop-off location was compromised. The new drop-off location is the Bridge of the Crescent Moon. Bring the artifact there post-haste.
On our way.
What do you convey to your allies, Thorn?
Seven, where have you put your vehicle?
It is just outside. I am moving it towards the back.
Okay. And I think probably we're in that kind of moment where the guy in the van or whatever says, okay. So you go down this corridor, take the second on the left, then first on the right. Then
Nice.
up the stairs, along the parapet, down the stairs, turn left. That'll get you around the guards that I sent. Okay, to the back.
So you are directing the other operatives towards an exit.
And I am following Shobu, essentially trying to keep up with them.
Is everyone moving that direction? Kobayashi sticking with the other operatives?
I think so. I think that, in fact, I might go a little further ahead.
Okay.
Yeah.
So kind of heading for an exit from the museum annex.
Right.
That's great. Yeah. So, Thorn, what are you doing? Because it feels like you're on the you're now much closer to the incoming threat than your allies are, since you've directed them to make a hasty exit here.
Yeah, that is peculiarly true. And so you
hear the raucous sounds of the Aki approaching.
The cameras, we had a little insert while I'm in the scriptorium, showing the view from the cameras and kind of blink out into meat space, and they're kind of nearer than the camera suggested they were.
Yeah, objects in camera are closer than they appear.
Yeah, and so I think I'm going to come up with a cunning plan.
All right, tell me about it.
I'm going to open the door and say, "Through here."
just telling the goblins, this is the
exactly.
place to go.
Yeah. Come on, this way. I've opened the door. Through here. Through into reception. Go.
So you're just like giving them the impression you're totally on their side. This is all part of the plan, and they should trust you.
Absolutely.
Interesting. I think that's. I
want to go with cunning plan, smartness.
Smartness. I see.
And influence, obviously.
And influence is a 0.
Indeed, it is.
Yeah. I think you don't have the edge so much here because this is less something that you're attached, you're kind of hacking the security systems gives you particular leverage on.
Except I mark disguise and conjure a holographic image of a large goblin.
Nice. Totally. All right. That absolutely changes things. I will say that means it's a normal threat and increased effect. So like, yeah, if they believe you're a goblin and believe you're on their side, that should really kind of effectively funnel them wherever you want them. And threat is slightly lower because if they are suspicious of you but still think you're a goblin, then that's going to be better than them thinking you're a human trying to mess with their plan. So any where are you at with dice? That's just the 2 dice from smartness, yeah?
I think that's just the 2 dice from smartness, yeah.
Do you want to push yourself? Do you want to mess with the threat or effect levels?
I think I'm prepared to increase. Can I increase threat and effect and get an extra dice? I can't remember.
No, it's not for a dice. It's just for like you could increase both, and that just means the effect will be greater if you succeed, but the threat will be greater if there's a complication.
I think we'll stick where we are.
Where we are.
I really need another dice, but I can't at this moment. I dare not put more stress into it right now.
Dare not put more stress into it. Then let's make the roll. See what happens.
What could go wrong?
What could go wrong?
A 2 and a 1 could go wrong.
Oh, a 2 and a 1. Ooh.
So that's a hologram.
That's a fail. So yeah, like 100%. The hologram just like cuts out for just a moment at the exact wrong time, and the Aki start yelling, deceiver, betrayer, take him down, right, and like fling themselves at you. Two consequences here. So
can I resist that effect?
Interesting. Just resist the hologram flicker.
Yeah.
I
mean, I'm not sure I dare.
Yeah.
The stress being where it is, but I'm just curious.
Let me lay out everything going on, and you tell me like which of these you want to resist. So the failure is they're not buying it. And part of that would be the disguise flickers, and then they attack you, right? You would probably be taking level 1 harm from some glancing blows as they're attacking in a disorganized way. So you could resist that, right? Resist the hologram flicker and the level 1 harm. The other complication I was going to throw in there is you overclocked some of your gear, and so the complication would be I start a 4-tick bar and tick 2 of its ticks for your neural link develops a glitch.
I think that would be interesting.
All right, so you're going to let that consequence stand.
I'll let that consequence stand, and in fact, I am going to take that one harm as they just roll over me.
Yeah. So Thorn's neural link develops a glitch that is now a 4-track progress bar here with 2 things already checked. That's the sort of thing where you could mess around with it later to try and uncheck those and clear it, right? But at the moment, it's there's you feel like you're the edge of your cyber gear is fraying here, right? And yeah, you get like bowled over by these goblins in their charge into the museum. Yeah, bruised and bloody as a level 1 harm. That makes sense to me. you're still on kind of comms with your allies, yeah? Like, do they
everyone
like
else is
hear
hearing,
some like chaotic noises?
and the kind of peripheral sound of Aki shouting, "Deceiver, deceiver!"
So I want to ask Shobu, what do you do? You've been like given directions for for exiting this place, but you also hear your hacker seeming to be in like a real spot of hot water over at the other end of the museum.
Oh, he's on the other end of the museum?
Yeah, you're exiting through like a back entrance he opened up for you. He was kind of closer to the front, and thus is where the goblins are now like pouring in.
Doing the kind of sacrificial thing that Thorn does.
How close to the exit am I? Like, would it be quicker to get to our vehicle and take it around to Thorn?
Interesting question. You're evaluating. Do you need to turn back around, or
because the goblins, if we head back through the museum, we'd be running through the goblins to get to Thorn, and that's not going to be quick.
Yeah, that's true. I think
maybe we have a spare drone that's in position or something.
What's the thought here? Is the spare drone in position where?
So our team like physically is going to have a problem helping him, and he needs help. So my idea is that maybe there's some kind of hovering drone that can come in, and
Shobu, you have that
cat? I have a little cat drone.
Do you want to we can for a single stress? I'll give you the flashback of you set your cat drone to keep an eye on Thorn and
sure,
and be, like, helpful. Yeah. Nice. So yeah, I think the flashback is just a moment of Shobu saying like, keep an eye on him, right? What does the drone do? Like, how does the drone engage to be of help here?
I think it's going to leap at the face of one of the first Oni that goes after him to try to distract them and pull them away, and perhaps lead them into the museum if they think, hey, this drone goes with somebody else that's in there.
Nice. So like, a like small attack against the Aki to create an opening for Thorn.
So get away.
Yeah, I'll just let you make a roll for that, and we'll say that for these purposes, all of your stats kind of like carry through to this drone, at least for the sake of this role. So tell me about your approach and what approach and skill would apply to this.
If it's trying to distract them, that feels a bit like smartness.
I see. So even if it's using an attack to distract them, it's not all about aggression.
Right, because it can't take a goblin in a fight. It's a small cat drone.
It's a small cat drone, yeah. All right.
Maybe it can pepper spray a goblin in a fight.
There's a thought.
Yeah. But it is attacking them, so maybe close combat.
Yeah, smartness, close combat, fight smarter, not harder.
Yeah,
absolutely. So that's 3 dice, and this isn't really your cyberware thing because it's not the legs going on. Yeah. So let's just say the threat is high just because your less combat savvy teammate is the one who's like on the line here. So I am I'm putting the threat at high and the effect at regular. Do you want to raise both, lower both, or otherwise mess around with what you've got?
We'll leave it. I don't want to put Thorn at more threat.
All right. So do you how many dice is that are we looking at here?
That's 3.
Do you want to push yourself?
So that would be spend
2 stress for 1 more
2
dice.
stress. Yeah, then 1 stress. Yeah, I'll spend 2 stress. I want to keep Thorn safe.
Yeah. All right. Let's see those dice then.
All right, reroll selected. All right, looks like I have 2, 6, 1, 3. Unless it changed.
No, that seems. Yep,
Great.
that's I'm seeing the 6 as well. So that's the key thing. So full success on that. Tell me how the drone surprises and distracts the goblins, creating exactly the opening Thorn needs to extricate himself.
So while they're shouting "Deceiver, Deceiver" at Thorn, the cat leaps at the lead Oni's face, maybe the Oni with the big giant sword thing, and
Yep.
claws at it, and then leaps off and heads down the door. And down through the door and to try to lure them out.
So the Aki are chasing the drone deeper into the museum.
Yep.
Yeah. All kinds of security alarms are going off on the system, Thorn. But you.
That's fine now.
Are freed. Yeah. Back at the back of the museum, we have Shobu. Shobu is physically back there, though, controlling the drone from afar. Kobayashi, you're there, and 7 Sharp Isoju. Are you calling up your bike? Is this the moment when the bike roars onto the scene?
Yeah, I think I'll call that up and kind of making sure who's around and trying to see. I think I'll say to Shobu, are you going to be able to move at speed? Should I grab Kobayashi on the bike?
I think we're good.
Okay. Kobayashi, whenever you want to hop on,
Sure.
we can take off.
They don't take much room. So thank you.
Absolutely. Yeah, so that's the plan. I'll grab up Kobayashi, Shobu, with the powerful bionic legs, can make probably better time than we can in the Neon City. And at some point we'll find out what happens to Thorn.
So you're not specifically you're not looping around to get Thorn. Oh, you're muted.
Am I supposed to, Shobu? Do I need to bring the bike around?
Yeah, I tell you, Thorn needs a pickup. He's in the clear for now, but
in that case, I'm going to need you to carry me. Because I'm not riding the bike over there. I'm going to send the bike.
Nice. So
to back up your drone.
So basically the bike is looping around riderless to pick up Thorn.
Yes, that is my plan. Is that okay with you, Shobu? You're muted.
You're muted, Mari.
Sure, but what's the plan for Kobayashi? Is he in the bike?
We'll work that out in a
I
moment.
can only carry one person.
There we go. Okay, yeah. Shobu is carrying 7 Sharp Isojo, so the bike can go around and pick up Thorn.
Yeah. Kobayashi, you can walls. You can go on the bike. It's up to you. Whatever you want to do.
Do I know where we're going to go?
Then I go rescue Thorn.
Well,
it would be a shock for you to show up on the bike for them, I'm sure.
Sure. It seems like maybe I could find a shortcut up high. So I'll do that.
I'll just take the bike, and if you happen to need it as it makes its circuit, that'll be good.
There we go. All right. So Soju, I think I want to roll here for bringing this bike to bear, having it sweep around, pick up Thorn, not run into other trouble along the way.
Yeah.
Tell me about the approach and skills that might be happening here.
I do think this is requiring me to concentrate on that mental link. I do think I'm going to argue for empathy, for me to be one.
With my
motorcycle.
Have you rolled anything besides empathy so far this session?
That has not been something that I've tried, rolling without empathy. I've angled myself very carefully, and given that I only have 2 stress left, I'm going to continue my righteous path of empathic sending of this thing.
Are you using your deep brain cycle link?
I think I have to.
So that's a push, right? So that is gonna fill up your stress.
I gotta hold off on the push on that. I think I'm just using marking the gear for the medium drone.
Okay.
And using that. It'll be 3 dice.
Yeah. I mean the fair enough. So empathy and piloting, right, is the skill here.
Yeah, piloting. I have piloting, I have rigging, either one. So I will take these delicious 3 dice that are off to the side.
Yeah, and that's going to be normal threat, normal effect. You're kind of kind of mopping things up here, picking up your companion so he doesn't get separated from you. But I think there's no you're good. You're good with this bike. There's no additional threat beyond that, I'd say.
I believe that the dice are showing 2-1-6. It was briefly 2-6-6, but then it flipped.
And I'm seeing 5-1-6.
Let's take a look at that.
I have a 6. I think we can agree on that.
I see 5-1-6.
Okay. I have a 6.
It'll do. Show me. So tell me what that looks like.
I think that there's some like trucks and stuff in between, and I'm weaving the bike around until it kind of hits. And of course, now there's a little bit of rain, so it hits and it does that spin off, so the water splashes up, and then it grinds, and then it's just shooting straight towards Thorn. I don't know if Kobayashi is still on the back, but it is shooting over there so that Thorn can decide if he wishes to jump on the bike.
Thorn, are you jumping on the bike? I'm
jumping on the bike.
Nice.
And I think I now can control it. But it kind of it won't turn. It won't turn.
Where's Kobayashi?
I was climbing over the building. I don't know. So where should we rendezvous?
You've got eyes in the sky.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So Thorn, you can convey to the team that the drop off point was changed. Now it's actually much further away in the city, deep in the Undercity, the Bridge of the Crescent Moon. So if you think that it's useful to rendezvous somewhere before proceeding there, that's a totally legit call. What's the call though?
Once I realize I don't have to drive the bike,
yes,
I'm going to take a breather.
Nice. And I feel like that. That's interesting. Yeah, I guess I'd been picturing that as always being like at least 2 kind of operators together, but the way it's written, it isn't required. So what does it look like, Thorn taking a breather? Well, just it's just it's kind of a Jesus take the wheel moment here, right? Because you are on this bike, but you are not driving this bike, and you're just trusting your trusting.
I'm back in the scriptorium.
Oh, you're just plunging back into this virtual world.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I still got my back door into there. And what I'd like to do is to have the the calligraphers carefully folding these scrolls into origami cranes and then freeing them through the window.
And kind of effectively this mean that the information is now, lost to the Imperials if they ever return to the scriptorium?
And no, it's not lost to them. It's available to everyone.
Oh, information wants to be
We
free.
wiki leaked it.
Yeah.
Because I think there's a benefit to taking a breather if you can angle it towards your angle, so to speak.
And what is your angle again, Thorn?
It is learn the truth.
Fantastic. Yeah. So tell me about the approach you're rolling, and you take 1 extra dice for bringing in your angle.
Okay, I think that this is a creative way to let the data get free. I would so I'm going smartness,
yes,
and hacking.
Smartness and hacking. It's just an approach. There's no skill application here. So.
Just smartness then.
Yeah, smartness and angle gives you 3 dice.
It does.
And there's no other negotiation for it because it's not a normal action roll.
Okay, I'll roll the ones that the 5, 1, 6 that I'm seeing, and I get 5, 4, 1.
Okay, on a 5, suck it up, clear 2 stress, or ignore level 1 harm penalties for the rest of the run.
I think that I need the stress headroom, so I'll reduce stress down to 2.
Yeah, so you're still bruised and bloody, but you've released some stress. Absolutely. Isojo, sounds like you are the one steering. Where do you bring Thorn?
I think Thorn is just following whatever path that the bionic ninja Shobu has chosen. I'm just kind of shadowing that path.
Mm-hmm. Got it. So the bike is, you're telling the bike to like track Shobu and converge on where they're going. Shobu, where are you going? Like just like charging through the city towards the rendezvous point?
Thorn, tell us the new rendezvous point.
Good question, Thorn. Did you tell them the new rendezvous
point?
Oh yeah.
Okay, then I'm just charging towards the new rendezvous point with 7 sharp and a fireman's carry over my shoulder, dagger in the other hand.
That's great.
I just have this wonderful picture of these leaps, and occasionally, you go up to a certain level, and there's Kobayashi on the roof, then down again. Cool.
Yeah, absolutely. Kobayashi, you're moving across the rooftops, so I think you're the one. Yeah. Tell me what you're thinking, actually.
Oh, I'm thinking that I haven't been seen yet, so I can probably just come down from the roof, and my character sort of looks like I'm wearing a hoodie or whatever, like just like re-civilianize and call a cab.
Nice. Yeah. And this cyberpunk cab, pulls up, and door, slides open for you to get in. And where are you taking the cab to the new drop-off point, or elsewhere before reuniting with your companions there?
I think I want to be dropped like 1 block from the ultimate rendezvous.
Nice. All right.
Yeah.
Cool. So you are cabbing over. And meanwhile, we have Shobu running through the neon slick streets, carrying firemen's carrying 7 sharp Isoju. There comes a moment where searchlights start playing over the street, and amplified voice from an Imperial mech hovering in the sky above the city says, citizens of Tawashi, please return to your homes. There is unrest in the streets. Goblins are causing trouble. You are in danger if you are out. Please, for your own protection, do not roam the streets tonight. Shobu, what do you do?
I mean, we still need to get there, so
It's true. The question is, are you continuing to just like sprint down the streets, or are you changing your changing your way of moving at all?
I'm going to, if there's some more like alleys or more out of the way streets rather than like the main thoroughfare, head through those.
Yeah. Let's turn that into a roll to kind of
Sure.
move without drawing further attention. Yeah. What's the approach and skill that you think are being used here?
Maybe caution and mobility. Because we're trying to stay out of sight. So I feel like I'm going with a more cautious approach rather than just barreling through.
Yeah. 100%.
But I want somewhere that still lets me have some speed.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I bet we see you, kind of like darting through cramped alleys, and like doing like mini wall runs a little bit, not like sticking to walls like Kobayashi, but like doing like the leap off of walls to like navigate over piles of trash or whatever.
Yeah.
Nice. So that's
So I think that's just 2.
that's 2 dice.
Or no, yeah.
Threat level normal, effect level normal here. So you can mess with threat or effect. You can add dice from a push, or ask for an assist. Anything you want to do before we make the roll. Oh, I guess, and of course, one push you can do is the cyberware push, because your spring legs 100% could come into play here.
Yeah. So is that 1 stress for the cyberware push then?
I think it's 2 stress like another push. It gives you a bonus dice and the fictional positioning of bringing the legs to bear. I'll say that lowers the threat level if you do it, because you're faster than most things that could try and catch you.
All right. Yeah. So I'll do that push. Mark those 2 stress.
And that puts you up to 3 dice.
3 dice. Yep.
Shall we roll?
Sure. Looks like 414.
Okay.
The 3 on the left.
Yeah. Partial success. They do it, but also suffer a consequence: harm, reduced effect, lost opportunity, or complication. I think there comes a moment where you are charging along, right? And you're like kind of leap across this Imperial searchlight that's shining over this alley, and you hear suspicious activity detected, and the Imperials are going to send a not a combat drone, but a surveillance drone chasing after you. Do you want to resist that?
That would be spending more stress.
Potentially. So the way resistance works is you reduce or avoid a consequence, and declare how you do it, and roll the appropriate approach. If you happen to get a crit, you actually clear stress. But yes, on a 6, you mark a stress and resist. On a 4 to 5, you mark 2 stress and resist. On a 1 to 3, you mark 3 stress and resist. No matter what you roll, the consequence is either reduced or avoided. Potentially, it could be avoided here. But you potentially you pick up some stress unless you roll a crit.
I'll just take the consequence.
Okay, so there's a like Imperial drone kind of chasing after you.
I'm gonna let Thorn know that Thorn, we've picked up a tail here with the surveillance drone. Can you help out any?
Yeah, I think I probably can. Because I think I should. I would like to try to just alter the alter what that drone is sending back to HQ. I think.
Yeah. Just you're like pulling out your deck, trying to mess with this drone from a distance here.
Absolutely.
What do we think that cashes out to as far as approach and skills?
I think it's probably it's smartness and hacking again, isn't it?
Probably. Classic combination.
Yeah, exactly. A dull but consistently useful combination of 5 dice, indeed.
And because of the expertise, you could trade one of those dice to push down threat or push up effect. I think those are starting at normal.
I think I'm going to go with all 5 dice.
All 5
normal.
dice.
Yeah, because it just strikes me that this is parallel to, not essential to the mission. Or time will tell if that's true, of course.
Yeah.
So I'll highlight all the purples and re-roll them.
Yeah, give it a go.
And then hope that 6 is stable. 42556.
42556. Okay. That's a full success. So you tell me what the Imperials are getting from their drone.
Yeah, I think they're getting signals that are leading them away from the bridge of the Crescent Moon, which I think is where we're heading, isn't it?
Yep.
And instead, this drone is leading them to another part of the city, probably where there are lots of Aki about, because we know that they're already being perceived as a threat.
Oh yeah, like you're getting all of the news media of Tawashi are reporting on freak Aki attacks, enraged Aki, storm visitor center, right? So you're able to just make this drone add to the chorus and point the Imperials away from what you're doing.
Yeah, and so we're seeing SWAT. Air cars are coming in, and water cannon are being deployed, and all kinds of shit is going on with these fascists.
Yes. Kobayashi, the cab lets you out. You're about a block away from the bridge of the Crescent Moon. It's a bad neighborhood. This is deep in the Undercity. This is a place where very rarely is anyone up to anything legal. So what's your what do you do here?
They say don't judge a bug by its carapace. I'm going to what I think I should probably do is go to high ground and get eyes on the rendezvous point to see if there's an ambush or something like that.
Yeah.
Or rather, I guess, position myself to be an ambush.
So you are the ambush.
Maybe.
I think you can do that without making an additional roll. You can be on a place of high ground. We'll say there's even a kind of long neglected kami shrine that kind of looms in a rickety way over the bridge of the Crescent Moon. So that's where you're able to ensconce yourself there and have a stealthy position. Sound good?
That sounds good.
Yeah. I wonder, is it possible you even take a breather since you've gotten here kind of ahead of the
Yeah.
others?
It's not selfish if it helps the cause. So yeah, how do I do that?
That is a special action where you convey how you have an opportunity to unwind. It says take a pill, turn up the volume, punch a wall, check in with a loved one, pat yourself for another operative up, and you roll with the approach that makes sense, and then add +1 if you bring your angle in during that scene. So yeah, so what does it look like for Kobayashi to take a breather? What's this guy like, when he's not in the middle of a mission?
Okay. I don't really know how it applies to my dice very well, but in the background, let's see. So insects reproduce at a very fast rate. So I have 12 children, and I have 5 more larvae on the way.
Oh man!
So I check in with my mate, and maybe I'm having like a phone call.
Does your family know like what you do? Like when you check in, are they like aware of the sort of
they are
work
aware
you're doing
that
in the city?
This I have promised is the last run.
Yeah,
I have promised. So yeah.
So like at some point, like one of your offspring says like, it's for real, Daddy. This is the last one. You're coming home after this.
I swear on all of our ancestors that this is the last one.
Okay.
One.
And it's just as long as you're staying safe out there.
Always.
All right. Sure, you brought your angle in. So tell me, what's the is this is empathy, yeah, right?
It sounds like it, even though that's not my. I have one.
You got one empathy.
Yeah.
Take 2 dice because empathy, and you brought in your angle.
Okay.
Roll for taking a breather.
Alrighty. Let's see. I'm gonna select some things. I'm telling it to re-roll them. Okay. Looks like I have a 5. 1 and 5.
Nice.
Okay.
5 is good, or 5 is enough, right? It says suck it up, clear 2 stress, or ignore level 1 harm penalties for the rest of the run.
I'll clear 2 stress.
That makes sense to me.
And I tell the team that I'm in position.
Nice. So they're aware that they've got kind of bonus eyes in the sky. Shobu, you're carrying a sojo. You're also carrying the jitte. Still a little like kind of weird. Like it's like your hand is starting to fall asleep from holding onto it. Pins and needles, right? But yeah, you've got those things, and you're rapidly approaching the bridge of the Crescent Moon with the bike that has Thorn clinging to it, following behind.
All right. While I'm running there, I want to ask Thorn over the comms. You mentioned maybe we didn't want to give this to Satoru. What was that about?
All the data I found suggests that this could be used to summon up a demon of chaos. Okay. And while I enjoy a little rough and tumble, I think that level of chaos may be a step too far. And just be careful, because I sometimes think that 7 concentrates on the job and nothing else. Okay, we have a social responsibility. Okay.
Yeah, you might have a point. I think Satoru was responsible for getting me fired from before I got into this life. And what if we give it to him in the gut?
That would certainly make him pay.
It would.
Oh, I get it. Return stabbing. Is that what we're talking about?
Is everyone on this? Is everyone on this call? I didn't know if this was just Thorn and.
I thought that was Shobu talking to me.
Yeah. No, I
Yeah,
wanted to
yeah.
confirm as a player because
Okay, nice.
But
Yes.
Got it. I couldn't tell if that was Kobayashi in character or not.
Yeah, I'm not part of that fiction.
All right, so this is a like side channel with Thorn and Shobu, and Shobu. It sounds like possibly you're also taking a breather.
Yeah.
Since I just heard that angle
if we can
come
make
up.
that work.
Yeah. Just tell me one more thing about, like, besides plotting treachery, is there some other, like, thing we see Shobu doing to, like, release some stress in this moment?
I mean, they're still running, but
it could just be a necessary stunt, in the midst of this run, right? Like, just like doing some, like, slightly show offy,
yeah, maybe we see them
maneuver.
show off, jump over some dumpsters that they could have just run past, but they're letting off some of their frustration and
letting off a little steam. Seven, you feel along for the ride here, or you?
Absolutely. We're almost there. This handed over, everything's fine. I'm very, very glad to just kind of hang out.
All right. So let's have Shobu roll that take a breather with I mean, what approach do you think applies?
I mean, we're just talking about stabbing somebody. So
yeah,
I
that's
feel
why
like
I'm wondering
aggression.
if this is aggression, a take a breather with aggression. And you brought your angle in, so
that's
3 dice. Yeah.
All right. So I have 4, 6, 5, or no, 6, 6, 5.
You got 2 6s?
Yes, they're still there.
That's a crit.
Sweet.
You've been through worse. Clear all marked stress or ignore levels 1 and 2 harm penalties for the rest of the run.
I will clear all stress.
Yeah, totally.
Contemplating murder has always been a very restful experience for Shobu.
Apparently.
And 7's sharp is Sojo. I know we ended up, like, having a bunch of other folks take a breather. I don't know if you want to angle for that yourself before this, this handoff that I'm sure will go smoothly and straightforwardly.
No, I think I'm good for the moment.
All right.
I'm just kind of rolling along with this. We're almost done. I mean, so I can't really let the pressure come down.
It's going to be the last run, there. One way or another, right?
All good. All good. Okay. Yeah. So you get there. You see the bridge coming up, and kind of waiting for the handoff. There's good old Satoru Umezawa. With his like mechanical fingers steepled and his tattoos just sort of softly glowing, not kind of fully invoking the magic of them, but they're just sort of kind of giving him this slightly neon aura, right? And then, like, on either side of him there are 2 kind of massive enforcers for the Hyozan Reckoners, right? Like his guards standing there, with like multiple katanas over each of their backs, just impassive and waiting on their boss. and yeah, we're going to take our last break in just a moment, but I guess the only question is, is what's the initial approach look like as the group arrives here?
I'm going to go up and I'm thank you, Master Umezawa, for the chance to do this. We have successfully completed your assignment. Shobu has the item of which you are seeking, and thank you for this opportunity.
Nice.
That's sort of my thing. Not feeling any of the vibe of maybe we ought to murder our boss at all. That's just kind of not even thinking that.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and the behind Shobu's there holding the item. Your bike pulls up, with Thorn clinging to it. Kobayashi is skulking up top like he likes to do, but I'm sure that's all normal. Fantastic. Let's take a 10-minute break. Be back at 15 past the hour. See how this all shakes out.
This can't go wrong.
Oh yeah,
Gonna
very
be-
exciting.
Good, great.
All right. Well, we're all back. Are folks up to drop back into this? Yeah. Last to our last segment here, and then get to epilogue. See where these characters end up. Yeah. So, like, in response to Seven Sharpest Sojo's, greetings, Satoru Umezawa kind of like nods gravely, looks over the three of you, says, "Where's your insect friend?"
Can I just say, the bike, when we left, the bike was approaching.
Yes, with you on it. Okay, so you
Yeah.
so are you
I don't want it to have stopped yet.
okay? So the bike, but you're within eyesight.
Yeah.
Okay, Satoru kind of sees you, coming up on the bike. Yeah. So seven indicates that Kobayashi is up somewhere. You're muted.
Oh, I wasn't saying anything.
No. Lowell is muted.
I'll gesture meaningfully to Shobu, as if to say, "You can give it to him right now."
All right. Shobu will come up forward slowly.
Is that
Bow.
it? My ancestors' jitte.
Yeah, and then they'll make to hand it to Satora and then flip it around and stab him in the gut.
Fascinating. All right. Well, as you might see, I've added to the progress bars tab a bar for Satoru's defenses. So it sounds like we're making a roll to attack those. Let me know what you think your approach and skill might be for this.
So it's definitely close combat because I'm straight up stabbing. I think aggression.
Aggression, close combat, fair. That puts you at 4 dice. Here's the thing. In many circumstances, I might say you have the edge for just stabbing someone out of the blue. On the other hand, Satoru Umezawa has survived myriad assassination attempts as the kingpin of the underworld here. So I do not think you have the edge. Even if he wasn't expecting exactly this betrayal, he's on guard by default. So the threat is heightened since he's got 2 guards on either side of him. The effect is normal. Do you want to raise or lower threat and effect? Do you want to push or ask for assistance or do anything else to mess with this before we turn to the dice?
I think I'll raise threat and effect and either push or if Thorn has any assistance since he's the only person aware of this plan.
That's true.
Yeah, I'm wondering whether during the journey, whether I've rigged an override on the bike so I can jump off the bike and have it crash into his guards or him.
Interesting.
Would that count as assistance?
Yeah, that would count as assistance. You would mark a stress for that and give a bonus dice to Shobu for this.
If nothing else, even if 7 kind of can intervene and stop it hitting them or whatever, or re-establish control, it will at least distract them.
Yeah, I would find that distracting. Let's turn to the dice then.
All right, so 5 dice. All selected. Looks like 1 6.
1 6 in there. Okay, so a success. You pushed up your effect, so I'm going to mark 3 ticks on Satoru's defenses. And yeah, so like you're just straight up stabbing him with the jitte. Yeah, sure. So like what you see the like kind of kami spirits of his tattoos like manifest and swirl around him, right? These like kind of serpent like colorful serpent like forms, and they like all like converge on where you're stabbing, but you are quick, right? Like you've jabbed him with it, and the like the magic just like stops it from going all the way in, but he is reeling back, and his guards were like his guards were pulling their katanas out as a bike crashed into them. So like nobody like gets a hit on you as this active aggression goes forward. 7 or you're right there. 7 sharp. Sojo, how do you react to this?
I say, is that what we're doing? Okay. And I will whip out essentially one of those cyberware tangle grenades and whip it at one of the guards. Because if you throw my bike at him, I'm okay. I want to try and neutralize one of them if I can.
Nice. Okay, so you're saying I'm along for the ride at this point. What approach and skills do you think apply?
Well, I think that's aggression, and I think that's ranged combat.
Yeah, so that's 2.
That's 2, just 2.
All right. The threat is elevated because you're attacking your boss, who is heavily guarded, or you're attacking the guards of your boss.
Attacking the guards.
But the like intent to betray seems clear. The effect is normal. You've got an opening, but you're not necessarily you're smaller than either of these guys, right? Like these are big, Ronin of the Hyozan Reckoners.
I will take increased threat and increased effect.
Increased threat and increased effect. So
essentially, as I kind of step up, if nothing else, I'm going to draw their attention, and I'm hoping that Kobayashi is in on this plan, even though they didn't bother to tell me.
Yeah, I guess we'll find out in a moment what Kobayashi thinks of all this.
All right, I am rolling those.
Any push or assist or?
Oh, I don't think that's a good idea.
All right, then make that roll.
I see a 2-6 is what I see. Do you see a 2-6 on the farthest left-hand side?
In the far left, I see that as well. Why are you guys getting all these 6s?
I don't know.
That's a success. It goes as well as intended. So like you like absolutely are tangling up one of the. So like one of the guards is totally tangled up, right? One of the guards is like tangled and like stumbles over the side of the bridge, splashes into the murky water, is like not going to be a problem for the rest of this fight. The other guard is like pushing himself out from under the bike, trying to get his bearings and ready his katana. But he doesn't like get a hit in on you. He's probably starting to swing and you're able to dodge away or something, right? So it's like things are well and truly devolving. Satoru has stumbled back, looks down at the dagger sticking out of him, grasps his hand around the hilt and starts like muttering something under his breath. Some fiery red starts surging through these, spirit tattoos swirling around him. Kobayashi, what do you do?
Okay. So I'll mutter something about, I thought this was going to be a clean job and I could leave with my hands clean, but I guess the kami think otherwise. And I will, so I'm just, So I'm gonna take shots from above,
Okay.
and
What with like
we've
ninja
almost-
stars or
so I took hand cannon.
okay?
I don't know what that's like in your version of this fiction.
I
I'm
mean,
open to whatever.
like I'm picturing anything that like isn't exactly a gun and
Mhm.
is closer to like a piece of handheld artillery.
Oh
I know
wow! Sure.
it's a like tricky little line, but
Uh-huh.
I had to like be true to Magic's rule
No, that's
against
totally.
depicting like
I don't
handguns
mind.
and
I
give
do
you
not
something
mind.
else.
Yeah, just the fact that I packed this suggested that I didn't believe it was going to be that. So
Are you
let's
focusing
see.
your fire on the remaining guard or on Satoru? Like straight up shooting your boss here?
I think my plan was actually to eliminate guards.
Okay.
So let's see, and I'm going to carefully ranged combat.
Okay, so we're talking about caution and ranged combat. Yeah, threat is. You're doing this from afar. I think threat is still a little elevated because
Sure.
this is going up against like who knows what else the Reckoners have in store for those who betray them. But yeah, effect is normal. You've certainly got an opening.
Okay.
Do you want to mess around with those or push for more dice or anything?
So in this version of Forge in the Dark, like on 4/5, would I get a single tick? Is that where we would be? Or
you would get ticks equal to the effect, which and a normal effect is 2 ticks.
So get okay, that sounds fine.
Yeah, I mean you could you can decrease both, and I think that still gives you enough ticks to take out the remaining guard.
I think I would like to do that.
Okay, so decreasing the threat and decreasing the effect. So indeed, like living up to the fact this is a cautious approach where you're just
trying to be surgical with this like
surgical use of a hand cannon.
Yeah, so they have those like dragon shaped things in Mulan, you know?
Oh yes, it's got to be one of those.
So I believe I have 3 dice, y'all.
Yeah.
I'm gonna select them.
Let's roll them.
Okay, and I'm going to push just because I have stress, you know?
Yeah, you got the stress for it, so yeah, take a bonus dice.
Uno, dos, 1 extra dice just to be sure. Okay. Alrighty, so I think I see 6611.
And you know what? That's what I see too.
Cool.
Which means this is I believe our first critical success on a non take a breather roll, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so like you get extra effect here. So I think like you blast this guard off the bridge, right? Like he's gone. And like the like spillover effect here, right? Like some of the like debris that flies through the air, is also going to tick Satoru's defenses, as you see like some of his magic tattoos have to like expend themselves to like shield him from the like from the like explosion.
Nice.
So there's our situation. The guards are taken care of. Satoru is like clearly feeling the heat. He like looks between the 3 of you, like glances like up in like the direction where he thinks Kobayashi is, and snarls, and he says, "I knew I couldn't trust you lowlives."
Just want you to know this wasn't my plan.
Sure, rat. I believe you. And he kind of, puts both hands on the hilt of the jitte, pulls it out of his chest, and lets forth this bellow. Sounds like Thorn has a thought here.
Yeah, you know that drone that was drawing SWAT teams towards Aki, the Aki low life areas,
Yeah.
where the goblins live.
Mm-hmm.
Because this is deep in the Undercity currently, aren't we?
Correct. Yes.
Just the kind of place where a SWAT team would be dispatched.
Are you planning? Are you hoping to kind of use your control of the drone to bring in some reinforcements?
I'm hoping to attack him with a SWAT team using hacking.
I think arguably that's a flashback, just to establish that that was part of what you were setting up with this drone.
I will pay a stress for that flashback.
All right, and then make a, I guess an aggression and hacking roll, unless you have a different interpretation of this.
I thought this was pretty cunning, I have to say. I thought this was a cunning plan, just coming to fruition. So I was hoping for smartness, but I will go with aggression just because I am aiming to kill him. That kind of seems fair.
Yeah. That's all legit. The threat is high. He is tapping into the magic of this jitte, and you had gotten a sense of like kind of what's on the other end of that. So the threat is high, especially perhaps for Thorn, who has the strongest image of what might be coming.
And I think I will push myself.
Okay.
In order to use the neural link. To glitch the video that the SWAT Aerodyne is getting, because I have a very real and recent experience of rampaging Aki. And so what they see on the bridge is a bunch of innocent bystanders being attacked by a bunch of Aki. and there's a really big Aki in the middle, clearly leading them.
I see. Does that push bring you to overloaded on stress?
No, I've just marked those two in.
Okay, so you're
so
close.
I am on the bleeding edge. So I think that gives me 4. I think that gets me to my traditional 5 dice.
Fantastic. And I told you the threat is heightened and the effect is normal. Do you want to mess with that at all?
I'm prepared for the threat to go up by 1, as long as so does the effect.
So that's, to be clear, that's pushing the threat up to 4, which could potentially mean level 4 harm, and you don't have very much stress to resist that anymore. Now we're coming towards the end, so
exactly.
All right.
Drive him like a stolen car.
Drive him like a stolen car. Okay.
And as someone I know says, 5 dice. What could go wrong?
Yeah. So make the roll. We're seeing how well.
A pair of 6s turned into a 4 and a 3.
Oh, wielding a SWAT team against Satoru Umezawa. Well, to be honest,
best is 5, but
I don't think it would have made sense if there were no complication on this, right? So you're gonna get, wow, you're gonna get your effect, which would be enough to finish off Satoru's defenses. So I think we see him let out this bellow. Magic is kind of swirling around him into a column of shadow and fire. But from the perspective of the Imperials, he's just a big Aki, and they kind of open fire with enchanted crossbow bolts to bring him down. Right? It's like basically the SWAT team has turned up in the form of several hover a half dozen hover vehicles with Imperial samurai mounted on them, and they open fire. partial success is that you're going to suffer a consequence, Thorn, and the consequence is this kind of a like a demonic centipede manifests arcing from the jitte towards you, right? Like, kind of razor sharp, white hot pincers, stabbing into you. This would be level 4 harm unless you care to resist that.
I don't think I can.
Oh.
Because I've got 1 stress. I've to over. Oh no, well hang on. So overload isn't the end of the game. That just means everything gets a bit glitchy.
Yeah.
So take me through. Yeah, I will resist it. Of course I will resist it.
All right. That's fair. So you declare how you do it. You roll with the appropriate approach, and then we'll see how much stress you mark depending on what you roll while resisting. So how are you attempting to resist this like demon centipede attack?
I am going to declare an exotic weapon, which is a hologram, multiple holograms of me.
Okay, nice. So it's like a which is the
take?
real Thorn, right? Like attack, but hopefully the real one remains elusive. So that sounds like maybe a resist with smartness.
That works for me.
Roll 2 dice. Let's see how that goes.
Okay, those 2 there. Oh my! That was a number that went up from a 4 to a 6.
You got a 6 on your resistance roll?
I got a 6 and a 2 on those 2 dice.
All right. 6 is solid. Mark 1 stress. So you succeed. You do not get killed by this murder centipede. But
remind me how armor works.
Armor you mark to absorb harm.
Fine.
Yeah. So in this case basically by resisting you've obviated that.
Yeah.
And you are, however, overloaded. So
I am.
Yeah, one of your approaches becomes permanently glitchy.
Empathy, obviously.
Yeah, that tracks.
And I think it's only fair if I mark another box on my neural link glitch.
Yeah, that seems appropriate. So there's like the scene is one of chaos, right? Like for you, the operatives, you've seen this like pillar of fire and shadow, and the like centipede lashing out, and then you see Satoru go down under a hail of Imperial fire, and there's just like the faintest like clattering sound of the jitte skidding over the bridge. My question is, Shobu, what do you do? There are a bunch of Imperials here. You have a sense that Thorn is Thorn is like handling what they're seeing, but there's no telling exactly how long that'll last.
So Shobu is going to tell to dying Satoru, "You ruined my life. You've finally gotten what you deserved." And then they're going to prepare to just leap out of there on their legs.
Nice. So just making a getaway?
Yeah. Get away from the Imperials.
Yeah. I'd love a roll for that just to see if it's a clean getaway, yeah?
Sure. Sounds good.
So what's the approach and the skill? And it sounds like perhaps you are taking the push from your cyber legs.
Definitely taking the push. It's definitely mobility. I don't know on approach.
Well, could be caution if getting out of danger here.
I think it is. It's not the one I'm good at, but So
Gotta follow the fiction.
Yeah, 2 for the mobility and 1 for the push.
Yes, I'm saying the threat is heightened. The Imperials would definitely have some questions if as they try to sort out what happened here eventually. Effect, I'll give you a increased effect because you are pushing and using your spring legs as well. Like you could put a lot of distance between yourself and this place. So you want to mess with threat or effect? Do you want to you already pushed yourself?
I'm already pushing.
Yeah,
I'll leave the threat in effect.
All right, so that's 3 dice, I think.
Yep.
Go ahead and roll them.
Is that 2 6s? Yeah.
Why? Yes, it is. So that is another critical success. Tell me, Shobu, like, kind of where, like, you get somewhere far from anything that could endanger you right at present, right? Like, so if you want to like give us a sense of that in this moment, you can do that, or you can roll it into your epilogue. But like that, I think what that critical gets you is like real distance from everything that's going down here.
Yeah, I think some quiet park far away that the Aki are not rampaging and nobody's looking at. Yeah, or yeah, I don't know what's happening to the jitte.
I was going to ask the people remaining on the scene because it seemed like revenge on Satoru was the thing that Shobu most wanted here. Right?
Yes.
So maybe like, yeah, you get to this like quiet park somewhere at the base of the great tree Boseiju, and then like kind of like coming over to you see your little like cat drone, right?
Yeah.
Like it's made it out safely too, and you're reunited.
Yeah.
Nice. 7 Sharpie Sojo. As like, everything's going down here, I'm interested in what we see you doing.
I say over the comms as Shobu leaps off, I say, "You have got to be shitting me." I just running for my bike, trying to grab my bike. Like my bike does the auto stand-up thing, and I'm running, and I am just trying to get the F out of there. I can't believe I helped you.
So just also booking it.
I am running.
Nice.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Let's see if this is a clean getaway. What's your approach?
Oh, I think it's caution, trying to carry myself, and piloting.
Mm-hmm. All right, so that's 2 dice. Similar elevated threat because the Imperials would have a lot of questions, and elevated effect because you've got your nice bike working with you here.
I'm gonna roll those leftmost 2 dice.
All right, just the 2 dice.
Well, 3 of them moved, but the top 2 are. Is that a 6 and a 5?
It looks like a 6 and a 5 to me.
I flee. I run.
You get away.
Don't
they
care
say
about
nobody gets out clean, but maybe you
care
do
about
this
the
time.
jitte. Don't care about anything else. Just.
Yeah, fair enough. Kobayashi.
And yes, I do abandon Thorn.
Right. Wow. So I get on the comms, and I say, Thorn, you are the closest. I committed to this job to get paid. Can you get the jitte?
As Thorn kind of clambers to his feet, and we see him, we see the jitte, we see the aerodynes. He's gonna try.
Good man. So I do whatever I can to assist that.
Nice.
So
Yeah.
I'll pass the spotlight in order to see what happens.
Yeah. Do you think you're mechanically marking stress to assist though?
I think so,
Yeah,
but
absolutely.
Inspiration.
Do you? I mean, well, or is it like covering fire?
Oh yes.
So I think I would like Thorn to declare their fictional intent, and then
Yeah.
I'll.
Okay.
Say how you help. Yeah, Thorn. What's the play?
Okay. I still have 2 gear slots left.
I see.
I am going to declare a 2-box medium versatile drone.
Oh, okay. That's
that is going to swoop in and pick up me and the jitte.
Fair enough. What's the shape of this drone? Like, is it an animal shaped drone like some of the ones we've seen before?
Oh
or-
yeah. I think that would be cool. I think it would be great if it was a falcon.
Nice. All right, falcon drone swooping in.
And I'm imagining that this is just flat out aggressive. Get this done. So I'm going to scoop up the jitte, launch myself off the bridge, and assume the drone catches me. So I'm going to go with aggression.
Okay, aggression this time.
And I'm struggling a little bit for any skill that's appropriate.
It's
so
piloting, right? Like
I was kind of go for survival.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, this I'll give it to you. This is like
the catch-all.
when
What skill is there for leaping into space?
Yeah, when the stuff hits the fan, sometimes you need to just like do what it takes to survive.
I'm marking my stress too to assist.
Yeah. What do you think the assistance looks like now that we have a sense?
I think so. So we're trying to outrun like the authorities, basically.
Yeah,
right?
you
Yeah,
don't
yeah.
want
So
to be around when the Imperials piece together what's happened here.
Yeah. So I think it's just cover fire, basically.
Okay. Yeah.
Um,
With
So is
with your hand cannon.
yeah.
Yeah.
And just for the image, is it that like does Kobayashi then like do like a jump from the shrine to land also on this drone, or like maybe like clinging with one hand using the like nanotech thing?
It sounds like that'll entertain everyone else the most. So sure.
Thank you. I appreciate it. All right, then where are we at with dice here? We've got
I think I've got 2 dice from aggression and survival.
one more.
I think I've got 1 for assistance.
Kobayashi's assistance, and the threat and effect are both elevated. Tell me if you want to.
I do.
You want to?
I want to
push
get
them-
away clean.
So,
How big an effect do I need to get away clean?
if like really clean, like you've got the jitte and find a buyer fast so that you're not holding on to this hot item for very long.
Shiny clean.
Yeah. If you push the effect all the way up to 4, I'll give you that.
Oh, of course, I've got no stress. Ignore that.
Oh my god.
I'll just re-roll. I'll re-roll those 3 dice.
Just 3 dice.
Yeah.
Okay.
And one of them is a 6.
Well done.
Yeah, that'll do it. Okay. So like everybody gets away clean somehow. And I think that and Kobayashi and Thorn have the valuable jitte in their possession and can decide whom they want to sell it to. So I think a round of epilogues are in order. So the game says when the run's objective is concluded, successfully or not, and there are no more immediate threats, it may be time to montage out. Wrap the current scene up and go around the table, letting each player narrate their character's epilogue. Ask them to convey a brief scene detailing how that run changed their lives. So, for each of you, a brief scene by way of epilogue about how this run has changed your lives. I think I will go down the character keeper, meaning we're going to start with 7 Sharp Isojo.
Well, I certainly am going to have trust issues after this job. And I do think that I need to scoot to the furthest outskirts to join another gang, change my jacket, and essentially lay low for quite a while.
Are you joining one of the Nezumi gangs to like
Oh,
really
yeah,
blend in
absolutely.
with fellow rat folk? Yeah.
Yeah, staying out of that. I don't want any of the whatever money those they get for the jitte. I don't want any of that. I don't want to be tied to this. And I will keep my little furry head down.
Yeah, absolutely. Shobu, what do we see? As far as a scene detailing how this run has changed your life.
I think after this, Shobu's gonna try to get out of this sort of life, and so I think we see them having moved to the different outskirts of the city, trying to find a quieter life with a more legitimate job with them and their cat. It's a meager existence, but safer, hopefully.
Yeah, that is a big change. Different way of life for Shobu. Kobayashi, what do we see as far as an epilogue about how this has changed your life?
Yeah, so a montage of me coming home during the daytime after I've laid low and made sure the authorities are not following. And I'm an insect man, but I'm wearing like a tuxedo or something. And I come in with flowers and whatever insects like for chocolates or something. And then the my little insect kids, clap or something. I don't know.
Yeah, you're all hail the conquering hero. You've made good. And last but not least, Thorn, what do we see in your epilogue about how this run has changed your life?
I think we see a quite opulent kind of high-rise office, and there is a figure in a swing seat, just swinging gently as they look out the window. We see them from behind, and they reach out and they touch a button, and then we cut to Seven, and Seven's comms light up, and Seven, it's the operator, the fixer, and the fixer says, "So Seven, I hear you've got another group together. I might have a job for you."
3,
And then we
2,
cut.
1, let's jam. Ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba.
And then we cut back to the office, and the chair swings round, and it's Thorn.
Nice.
Thank you. This has been Cyber+Punk Kamigawa Reckoning as part of Gauntlet Community Open Gaming. Thank you all for playing, and for anyone who's been tuning in, thanks for watching along. See ya another time, and stay safe out there.